In today's video, I'm sharing with you my journaling ecosystem. Let's get right into it. Okay, friends, if my voice sounds a little bit funny, I am now talking for the very first time for the entire day, so please bear with me as my voice starts to wake up for the day. But if you are new to the channel, welcome. I am very excited to do a video like this because I don't think I've done a video like this before, especially not using the terminology that has been kind of floating around recently and has been getting trendy recently. But I am going to be sharing with you my journal ecosystem, at least in the state of what it currently is. I'm sure it's going to change because you all know that, or you might not know, but most of you may know that I like to switch things up when it comes to creativity, and all the creative things that I'm doing, they kind of ebb and flow. And so some months I'll be into one creative project, and in another month I'll be into a different creative project. So I'm just going to show you what it currently looks like as is. And before we do that, I wanted to explain to you what exactly a journaling ecosystem is. If you have no idea what that is, oh, Riley just like screamed at me, but I don't know where she is. If you don't know what a journaling ecosystem is, it's basically a collection, a curation, your structured journaling system based off of different supplies, tools, notebooks, journals, things like that, that kind of fit your specific creative and writing and journaling / planning needs, all of the things. So if you're a heavy planner, if you're a heavy journaler, if you are an artist that likes to sketch a lot, or if you like to write a lot, you can kind of pull pieces of creative tools to create your overall journaling ecosystem. And like I mentioned, I think this is a phrase that is now being used for this. This is not like a new concept at all, but people online are definitely phrasing it as journaling ecosystem, if that makes sense. So let's just jump into my personal ecosystem right now, and I will just explain why these things are part of my journaling ecosystem so you can kind of get clarity as we go through the video as to what a journaling ecosystem is and what it could look like for you. But this is what mine currently looks like. It's two things, but there's a lot in this particular thing. And so starting with this right here, this is the first journal of a few that I will show you. This is my morning pages. My morning pages is just a plain notebook that has, I don't know if you can see that, but it has like a grid on the inside. I don't really have a preference when it comes to my morning pages and the type of paper that's in it. I just like a nice solid notebook that is thick, that can fit a good amount of pages in there, because morning pages can go by very, very quickly if you're doing them every single day, and it's 3 pages of free form writing. That adds up. So I try my best to just look for a solid notebook that has whatever kind of pages in there, lined, dotted, plain even, but that it's like nice and chunky. This one is actually on the less chunkier side than what I'm used to, but I really like how it looks, and it did the job. I really love this nice burnt orange color. It just called out to me when I was in McNally Jackson one day, which you all know that I love McNally Jackson so much for stationery. They're kind of exclusively where I go for stationery. And if you're interested in this brand, I think it's called the Life brand, and it says it's the Noble Notes section. It has 100 sheets in it, and the size is A5, made in Japan. So that's the sizing of this. And again, it has grid paper, and I am almost done. This is how much I have completed in my morning pages. This is how much that's left. And I started this in May. So it only has lasted about 3 months. So like I said, I try to go for a chunkier one to do my morning pages. And the morning pages are extremely, extremely essential for me and my journaling ecosystem. The morning pages is kind of like my lifeline. It is certainly life-changing for me. It makes a huge difference in my day and my overall quality of life. I talk a lot about the morning pages, but it does come from the Artist's Way, which is a journal, like a guided, I would say a course. It's a guided course over the course of 12 weeks where you kind of reignite and return to your inner creative. And so this practice comes from that. I love it so much. I recommend the morning pages to anyone and everyone, even if you don't think that you're a creative person, even if you've never used the Artist Way or started the Artist Way. I just think having a notebook where you write 3 pages of free-form writing every single morning is something that can do a lot of good for you. So this is the first and possibly one of the most important things in my journaling ecosystem, if not the most important thing. But moving on to this. Now this bag in particular is extremely new to me. This is something that I actually picked up from watching other people's journaling ecosystem videos, and I was absolutely obsessed with like a little bag to put all of my things. You're gonna quickly see that once I go through here, I have a lot of things starting to compile for my journaling ecosystem, and I was kind of just throwing them in random places in my overall bag, but it does make a lot of sense after, especially after watching other people do their journaling ecosystem videos. It makes sense to have one place to have all of my journaling needs. And especially now that I'm getting back into bullet journaling. That's a little bit of foreshadowing there. But yeah, this has certainly come in handy. You'll see in a second once I pull everything out of this magic little bag. But the bag itself is from the brand Delphonics. And I got it in this really lovely mustardy yellow kind of color. I just really love this color out of the selection. And this size is the small size. I think a lot of people who are posting videos like this have the medium size because they have a lot more tools or they have a lot larger notebooks, but this is working for me and I'll show you why in a second. I really love the small one. I love this so much. I feel like I can throw this into any one of my overall bags that I kind of take around with me. But enough of that. I will start with the very first thing that's kind of sticking out over here. This is a clamp and the brand is Clampy Penco, or penco clampy, and it's literally just a clamp. This one is like a metal clamp. I have a plastic one, but I really like the metal one because it's super, super firm and secure. So it holds my pages down really flat, which is extremely important for me, especially if I'm sketching or I'm painting. I really hate when the notebook kind of flips over onto my hand whenever I'm writing, and I'm left-handed. So it's like I just want no distractions, no things getting into the way of my hands whenever I am writing. So this is mine, clamp, and it's like a nice beige color. I'll just show you what it looks like if I was to put it on here. I just clamp it on like this, and so the page lays super, super flat. I don't have to worry about the page flipping back on me. So that's what that's for. Extremely useful. And then the next thing that I have in the front area over here is just a spare notebook. This is a notebook that I will be using, but I haven't gotten to it yet. It's just a notebook that I picked up when I was at McNally Jackson one day. And I just like that it's compact. It fits in here, obviously, as you saw. I don't know the brand. I just see IWI on the back. Again, I just found it at McNally Jackson, but the pages on the inside are blank, and it's really nice and smooth. The pages are thin. I'm thinking of using this as like a very light sketchbook eventually. So we'll see when I actually start using that, but for now I just have it in the front over here. And there are some more pockets, but there's nothing in there for now. And let me just put my clampy back on. Okay, so that is the front. There's also like a little pen slot right here, which is a really, really nice and convenient, especially if I was to kind of like sit this down in front of me if I'm at a desk and I just want to place my pen or my paintbrush there or something like that. So really nice. It also has little loops on the side over here if I wanted to connect it to something. And the back also has a bunch of pockets. 2 more pockets over here. And then we have a Velcro secured one here as well. I don't have anything in there just yet. I think most of the stuff is in the inside. So let's just jump into the inside. And as you can see, I've got a lot going on in there. So the very first thing is also not opened nor used yet. I just picked this notebook up, and I specifically got this size so that it could fit in here, and it does fit perfectly as you saw. But this is from the brand MD Paper. I see this brand a lot at McNally Jackson. They have a huge selection in there, and they have lined pages, grid, they have plain, they have dotted, and it just looks really lovely, really simple, really minimal, but the paper just looks fabulous, and I'm really excited to start using it. I've never purchased this brand before, even though I've seen it so many times. So that's what it looks like. Again, it is really nice and slim and sleek and minimal. And this just might be the thinnest version of morning pages that I've ever purchased. Like I just mentioned, I try to go for chunkier notebooks, but when I was at McNally Jackson and I was looking for a brand new morning pages, like I just mentioned, this one is almost finished, and also looking for one that would fit in here, I came down to two options, and the other option was a little chunkier, yeah, but this design was just calling out to me, and I like to just go with the flow and what my creative side is telling me to go with whenever it's time for me to pick up a morning pages. So just went with it. We'll see how this goes. We'll see if I like it. We'll see how long it takes for me to get through this, because I have a feeling it's gonna speed by. But yeah, that's just what I have for now. I'll open it once I finish my current morning pages. But the next big thing that I have in here is my main journal. And this has multiple journals in here. And this is probably like the central area for my journaling ecosystem. But I have shown this quite a bit, but if you're not familiar, this is a Paper Republic journal in the size pocket. So I believe it's A6, it's close to the A6 size, whereas this, my morning pages right now, is A5. So that's just a size comparison for you there. And I really like it. I have to admit, I don't love it. I kind of wish I went for something this size now that I have been using this and getting used to the size of it all, but I also don't want to get a new one because these things are pricey and they are meant to last forever, so I'm just gonna keep rolling with it and hope that I end up falling in love with this size eventually. I do really love that it's nice and compact and it can fit basically everywhere, and that was the main reason as to why I got it. So it's growing on me. It's just gonna take some more time, I think. But yeah, that's the Paper Republic journal. I have a little charm here, as you can see. It's a little tomato charm that I got in a shop in Philadelphia. The shop is called Bodhi or Body, I don't know what it's called. And then I added a little pen clip here. I also got this from a shop in Philadelphia. It's called Omoi, O-M-O-I. I think I'm saying these names correctly. I'm not sure. But I got that there, and it's like a metal pen holder. And as you can see, clearly I have a pen there. And this pen is a Kaweco Sport pen. It's in a beautiful, peachy, kind of translucent color. They say it's called orange, so if you're looking for it and you can't find peach, it's most likely going to be under orange. But it's just a roller ball pen. It's not too fancy, but I love it. I think it was in like the $20-$25 range, and the refills for it are like $2. So it's a pen that I'm hoping to keep forever, very similar to my journal, and that is my go-to pen. It writes so smooth. It is one of the best pens I have ever used. So even though it's not fancy, it's not a fountain pen, it's still fantastic quality. But moving on to what I have inside, which are all of my journals. I have 3 in total here. So starting with the biggest one over here, this is what that looks like on the front. I got this from McNally Jackson. Let's see if I can find the brand. It's Petite Graham Papeterie. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that I wouldn't be able to pronounce anything in this video, but this is just a very standard lined notebook. Nothing super special about it. I just wanted a lined notebook for writing purposes that was also small enough to fit in my Paper Republic journal, and this hit all the marks, as you can clearly see. I'm actually almost finished with it, so I might have to get a new one for that, but for now, that's what I have for just general writing, monthly reflections, things like that. And I plan on, when I get the new one at least, because it's almost done, I plan on using this to kind of brainstorm and doodle and scribble down some notes for my Substack, which you may or may not know. I have kind of revitalized my Substack, and I've been doing a lot of long form writing there, and it's been really lovely. And I also love kind of just going on pen and paper sometimes for my Substack as well. So that's what this journal is going to be mainly used for. For now, it just has like a bunch of other stuff. It also has a lot of the Artist's Way prompt answers in here, because I was using this for the Artist's Way. The next journal that I have here right in the center, this one's chunky and it's very thick, but this one is from Paper Republic. So I bought it when I bought the larger section here. And it is a drawing book. It says drawing book at the bottom. And it's very thick paper. Like I said, it is plain thick paper, and it's meant for sketching, it's meant for drawing, doodling, and it is multimedia, so you can kind of use whatever of your preferred I don't know, tool, like pen, inks, paints, whatever you want to use. It can definitely work for this super, super thick paper. And you may not know, I am a watercolor artist. I actually don't use this for watercolor, do I? I did test out some gouache in here, so I can show you that. But I mainly use watercolor, and so this is safe for watercolor as well if you wanted to do watercolor. But I mainly, oh look, there is more gouache there. I mainly sketch in here. I mainly use pencil. Sometimes I will use a pen. But yeah, this is mostly my sketchbook. I use this as my sketchbook. And then I use other notebooks that I don't have here because it's kind of all messy and jumbled up right now. But I use other like larger cotton paper books for painting. So that's why it's not part of the journaling ecosystem. But yeah, that is my sketchbook. And then this is the final book in here. It's actually really tiny compared to the rest of them. And it is quite new to my journaling system. But this is my bullet journal, which is essentially my planner right now. And this is from the brand Margin Section, made in Japan. I really love, I don't know what size it is. Oh, it's a semi B7. I actually have never heard of that size. But that's the size, very, very tiny. And as you can see, it's very tiny compared to the rest. It has this really nice yellow, which kind of matches with the thing here, which I didn't do that on purpose, but love that. And inside it has grid paper. And I really love it. I also love that it is pretty chunky for a small notebook. And like I said, I'm using it as my bullet journal, which is my planner right now. I have shown this in a monthly recap video recently. I just started using this, so that's why there's not that much filled in there. But I'm using it as my bullet journal for monthly stuff, like month at a glance, weeks at a glance, and also my monthly reflections once I get to it. I was doing my monthly reflections in this one, but now that I'm using a bullet journal and it's more customizable and I can do whatever I want technically in a bullet journal, I'm going to swap my monthly reflections to this bullet journal here. And this essentially has my entire life in it, like what I'm doing on the day-to-day, what I'm doing on a monthly basis, my yearly goals, keeping track of those things, and it's just something that I need to have always. So yeah, that is my bullet journal / planner, and that's essentially it for everything that's in this journal, which is majority of the things. I mean, it's this and this that are my actual journals. Eventually, it will be this instead of this big one. But I do have a couple of other things in here, and there are pockets, a lot of pockets in here. We have 2 slots on this side. We have a Velcro slot on that side, and that's where I have a couple of other things to go with my journal, just like writing utensils and such. I have a pencil. This is the Graph Gear 500 by Pentel, and it's 0.9 lead. I love this pencil so much. It has always been with me for like so many years. And to go with it, I have an eraser. This eraser, I believe, is from Muji. Also pretty solid. Can't go wrong with that. And then for bullet journaling purposes, I have these 2 things. I have the Micron fine line pen. I think it's a pen. Fine line marker. And it's Pigma Micron 08. 0.5 millimeter is the line size. And then I have a highlighter. And this highlighter is a nice, like, pinky kind of color. I thought the pink would be nice for August. It reminds me of, like, sunsets. But the brand is Zebra Mild Liner, Mild Ink, double-ended. So it's got, like, a fine side, and it has the larger side. I tend to use the larger side. But yeah, these 2 things are for the bullet journal. These are for sketching, and then you already saw my pen that is attached to my journal. And that's essentially all that I have in my journaling system. It's probably minimal compared to other artists, but I try to keep it as simple as possible. 1 really good notebook, 1 really good sketchbook, 1 really good planner, really good pen, really good highlighter, really good marker, really good pencil, just like 1 of everything that's like an essential. and that's pretty much all that I need. But I hope this was a fun video to watch. Hopefully it kind of gave you a better idea of what a journaling ecosystem is and what it could look like. I would love to know what would be included in your journaling ecosystem. Do you have washi tapes? Do you have sticky notes? Do you have organizers? Do you have like tab stickies and things like that? I would love to know. I would also get a lot of inspiration from you guys if you share them in the comments. So please do. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I appreciate you being here, and I will talk to you in the next video.